Chill vibes tonight, laid back life. Laid back. No stress, no fight. No stress, no fight. Throwing parts together. Throwing parts. Crafting all night. All night. Get ready to build. Get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right. Get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right. Get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right. Chill vibes tonight. Chill vibes tonight. Laid back life. No stress, no fight. No stress, no fight. Throwing parts together. Crafting all night. Get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right.
Well, good morning and greetings to all you travelers out there, and of course, all you builders. It's me, Kevin C. Here yet again on a Monday morning. It's Monday here at Action Pants Gaming, and we're gonna noodle around with this a little bit here. It's Monday, and it is Monday, June the 16th. And I've got about 5 minutes after the 10 a.m. hour, running a little late. But I do know that some of you are actually still out there in the past, and some are somehow in the future. But whatever present you happen to be in, I do hope it's going good for you. Alright, let's just move that around a little bit. Make that a little bit better, I think. Okay. Alright. It's early. We've got Sergeant Belson in the chat already, though. Thank you for joining. Welcome, Sarge. Let's get into our live spot here. Oop. There we are. Alright. Yeah, Mondays. Ugh. Even I don't work on Monday, but it's got, Monday. Just something about a Monday. All right. Where are we? What are we doing? We've got all this stuff to worry about. And there's a couple of different ways I can make this work. Now, I can take this, use it as a floor plan, add some buildings up here, which, not a horrible idea. Or, if it all connects, which I think it does, except for some of the stuff here, like this doesn't. I have to do that separately. And that would be a pain. Could do it though. And we would lower this down to half a floor panel and hide it. Crisscross, what's going on? Lurking and working. Have a great one, my guy. You as well. Fun playing some of that Enshrouded. Well, it was a little easier than I thought with 3 of us. I thought there'd be more stuff, more critters to be going after, but and I barely got in a word edgewise in terms of fighting. Get over there and 1, 2. Although I did, get a couple. I noticed on my little meter, so I got some. But yeah. So, I'm kind of debating if we build a structure up off of this and then just have this as like the walkway between it. Yeah, those skellies were pretty easy actually. I was like, wait a minute. So there'd be a building here, and here we might as well at least throw out the floor panels. And I've already kind of messed around with this a little bit, but I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I mean, we could take what we got. That comes from something. No, it does not. Okay. Are you there? We could go all the way here. And then just do an end cap. Right? So we have a building here, and actually that's not a bad shape for a building, and we have an entrance here in the stairway. Which is basically, or what we end up doing is, I gotta get comfortable, man. I'm not digging on this chair anymore. It was fine for about a bit, but now I just can't get comfy. All right. My desk is too low, but at the time it's what I could afford and fit everything. The computer was more important, you know. I had some old speakers. Then I had to realize, you know, I needed a keyboard and a mouse, and then the Stream Deck thingy-majiggy. And the computer's not even on the desk; it's on another thing. But I'm noticing I don't like the way the something just ain't right here. Let me post it again on. But my setup is on the Discord. Alrighty. So I could make a building here, right? Which probably wouldn't be a bad idea, and then we would do the same over here. And we would just use this as a basic walkway. Or I do that wonderful trick that I learned from Crisscross a bunch of years back. And we do a little macro adjustment on the flooring. We bring it down and we hide that. Or we have a building here, but then we have that gap. And that's what I'm like, I don't dig on, but at the same time, it's okay. You know? Because it's like, you know, not that this planet gets rain, but if we were building on another environment or biome, we could mentally, you know, go, why are those grates there? Oh, that's to let the rain run off, right? Because we still have the walkway platform, and it's how you know, it's how we're stacking here. And whoever made the Slim Jim comment yesterday, you show up today. I'll shut the camera off. My roommate's at work, so I could be loud. Are you guys bored? I don't even know if I could do it anymore. I haven't heard it in a while. So, those are sort of our options, and then, you know, maybe leave that open, or do something a little less. Flip these around so they're up here, which would match the height of that a little better, at least that eye line. That would be up more here. Well, be here, but you know what I mean. We could also raise this up and blah, blah, blah. We'd probably work off of that, bring that in, be a half. But we'd be losing a quarter. Oh no, we could bring it back. Alright, so if we did that, bring it out, which would then match here. It also would match the height, but then we've got an issue of we would need to bring that down because that doesn't match here, or we'd have to make stairs up to it. We just say, leave well enough alone. Or remove it altogether. You know, who knows? I don't know. Don't know if I'm digging it or not. I mean, again, this is just, hey, let's make a thing, and what if we did this, and what would we do if, you know, because I do eventually want to make another city. Right, so that doesn't work now. That's right. Yeah, snapping's a little weird lately. The other odd thing that I do need to Zendesk is I'll be building, I'll do something, who knows what the hell it is I did. And then it'll be like, you can't build, you're out of your build, you're, you know, too far away from your base computer. I'm like, BS. I've been, you know, building here for the past couple hours. And then all of a sudden it's just like, nah. See, and then I flurbed this up, part of me is like, maybe I should do a... I'm digging these. I don't know why I'm digging these columns, but I am. And I want to make them more. You know, it's like I want to add this shit into, pardon my language, into, you know, whenever I find the area to build the next city. Or who knows, this may end up being, excuse me, something completely wacky. And we'll be like, alright, that'll work. I have an idea and I keep fumbling it around in my brain. You know me, I'm gonna squirrel out a bit, you know, 100 times here. Alright, so that's facing that. This needs to turn. Okay, it either needs to face that or this. And then maybe this should turn and face that. With less of an angle. Then it can come across. Digging the pics. What up, Grimy? Grimy, you sending pics somewhere? Where at? Problem is, like, some of these I gotta remember how I frickin' connected crap, you know? Like if I want to go from one to another, but that's part of the problem and sort of the interesting thing is, you know, trying to, you know, you got a problem, how do you solve it? You know, in a, you know, in this particular instance, we're just doing this sort of haphazard, slap together, pile on, work with what we have sort of thing, which is what I like to do in the first place. But now I'm actually trying to make structures instead of just designs. Grimey's Discord photo section. Alright, well, post some of that stuff in mine, bro. What's up with that? Alright, so now we got to figure out, because this needs to kind of be here, right? But that doesn't line up with anything. Or, you know, we're cutting into that building, which we don't want to do. Or we're going to connect into here, right? I think what we need to do is bring this in a little bit different too, by the way, right? So we're gonna imagine that we're here. Alright, let's probably do a save. And we'll come off of there. And then what we can do here is we can turn this one. It's still basically in the same position. It's going to alter to the left or right a little bit, but, you know, whatever. Again, it's more about connecting these things at this point, right? And that way we can have the flat face of this instead of this weird angle, which we can't really work off of. We could figure it out, but it wouldn't look right, right? You know, I already have a feeling. Right on, Grimy. I'm just like my brain and work time and things. I don't always have time to check everything, and I feel bad that I don't. You You know, I wish I could, you know, do this sort of thing full time and not have to worry about money. You know, that crappy freaking thing. And then we'll turn this one, boom, we'll face it this way. I think what I'm going to try to do, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I don't remember where this came from. The only thing is if I do that, yeah, and that would open that up, leaving that a little bit better. Let's the legendary legendaries. Welcome. Yeah, these lights are like dull. They're like barely working. It's like when they do things with the lights, it's like a drastic change. The lighting is so off. It's way too dark, and sorry about that, y'all. Should probably have my my torch rolling here. Better. All right. We got a couple different problems we got to figure out here. Thinking we also, you know, we're gonna have to turn this one. This looks like the easiest one. Let's do this. This one's the least crappy. And see, it's like it's not an actual angle, and you know, if you want to center this, so we're gonna have to use this now. So, ouch. And we're just gonna get rid of all this. Why not? We're not gonna use it. We've got a non-circular, except for the center. And even though it is non-circular, it is still circular in a way. It has a circular, you know, there's a ring of stuff around a central thing. So, truly circular, no, but. Alright, so we know this is kind of our thing. And then again, like I said, it's shifted a little bit. Is it, you know, crazy? Mount, no. We'll have to shift this floor up a little bit, unfortunately, right? Because the angle that we produced from that one freaking stairway, I'm like, oh, let's come out this way. Right here. Because I was like, that's kind of neat, you know, little side entrance. But because we can't just place these on the terrain, which I really feel we should be able to, especially underwater, we need new prefabs. We really, really do. That's another thing. But yeah, so idiot me comes off of that angle. I'm like, I'll worry about it later. Now I'm like, shoot. Alright, let's get rid of some of this here for now, because I don't know what I want to do with it. I don't know what it is. What the hell am I doing? Alright. We'll deal with that after. Like I said, many a thing. And it's really, honestly, just a... you know, it's an R&D. It's like, oh, new parts, you know. How do I blend them in with the freighter parts? Because those look cool, and they seem to work in here. Although I got to figure out a way to actually blend the freighter rooms as well, but it's always hard when you have the window because of the way it indents, and I haven't figured out how to deal with that, and it doesn't look right when you just box it out. So I'm working on it. I'll get there. And there's still also that other thing I want to do. Alright, so this is where? Where do I go into this building? Is there a doorway? Yes, there's a hallway. And a door. Okay. That comes out here, which is that level. Boom. For some reason, I decided to make two ways in and out. Because I'm weird like that. Actually, we probably got more. Secret exit, yeah. Maybe we'll do something about that. Don't need. Yeah, but if you walk around. So that's like the secret area. Alright, but then how do we get into here again? That's up top. Yes. We need to make a window of sorts here. Got it. Okay. Got it. Where you going to? You going to nothing. Okay. Let's try something. Can I put a vertical window here? Let's give it a shot. Why the hell not? Can I put a vertical window here? I am curious. And have it looking halfway decent. Okay, that didn't work. What's going on there? Oh. Uh-oh. Shiza. Okay, this will be interesting. What do we want to do here? Because we've got like that. Yes. Alright, so let's do that. Match the floor height. Take in the short wall. Grab that, do that, move that. And it gives me this weird... Oh, we'll find out. One way or another. Yeah, the lighting in No Man's Sky, and I've said this for years, which is sad. And they almost had it recently. It was almost there. I was like, are you kidding me? What does this look like normally? Before I go crazy. Up some. Okay. We need to be up here. In order to do that. Here. Okay. There we go. And now we're at the correct height. Now, what about this? It's gonna be funky. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. We're gonna need our CPR tools. Cube. Our pyramid. Or this small pyramid. Start with you. Do the usual. No, not that. No, not that. Not that either. That'll work. Alright, then what direction do I want the wall? I want the wall. If the front is facing inwards, that would be no, so I want it the other way. Gamma, yeah, those are great, and I want to do those as signs. I want to mix some of the Gex signs out, but I want them to fix the lighting first, because a bunch of my Gex signs I really, really like, and I'm bummed that they flurbed me on that. They seem to do that on me. Not about happy about it. I mean, it's not me, targeting or anything. Could be. Like, stop freaking building, man. You're frying our servers with these stupid ass things that nobody ever sees. You're taking up too much server space on that one. I doubt Hello Games knows anything about my cities. City, not plural yet. Come on, you Lurbinator. How about not doing that? Thank you, about time. You're gonna go like so. She's gonna flirb me. I am gonna have to bring that down because that's not gonna work. Although it might. I can make it work. I just don't want to cover that much of it. Well, that's a bummer. That's the... Well, it might work, actually. I mean, here's our problem. It's not a huge problem because we can cover that. It's not a big deal. I hate the fact that I have to use 2 of these in order to get that to happen. That's really sort of a drag. I wish they had a a non-lit version. Waited forever. So that could work, but then we would need to. It still needs to go in here because I don't like that. Again, we can fix that. Actually, let's do something funky here. Better, but not. Instead of that, maybe we take. But that we do. That. Do that. Let that down. I didn't even have to glitch it. I just had to have it in my thing. Well, that's cool. There's one less thing to deal with. Right on. Alright, so say I got this. I cache it. I come over here and I just come over and I change the color. I don't actually have to glitch it? I do not. Well, I didn't know that. That's cool. That's the only crappy part, but you know, if I do a, what color are you going to be? What? Okay. Dun. Dun. And I just hit the color thing on that. What? Oh shoot! Damn it! All right, you are that color. Cash. Hit the color thing. I'm not even gonna touch anything. I'm gonna see now if it just even goes to that. Damn it. Cash. Alright, I'll go back up. Alright, cash. Color. Color. Uncash. Oh shoot, I keep doing it wrong. I keep hitting the wrong button. Well, either way. Cash. And that actually lets you know if you've been cashed. Cash. And I can hit the color. Oh. Bet you that's that. Yeah, I don't like that. That's right, this is much better. But then... Well, alright. Alright, I'll figure that out. Okay, fine. If you insist. Get you out of there for now. You can go down to there. That covers that. Getting ahead of myself. Gotta change that one first. Oh, you do this. That. That. M3LS, hello, welcome. Oh. Somebody please. Yeah. ML, you don't just roll in here and ask for donations. Can we, hold on a second here. Thank you, Grammy. I hit it as well. So, yeah. Don't just roll in asking for donations. I don't know who you are. I'm sorry that your PC blew up. Truly, I am. I couldn't even imagine. I can't afford couldn't afford to do another one right now if I wanted to. Hey, Boaz. Yeah, right, Grammy? In this day and age, we're all a little strapped for cash, so. We can bring that up if we wanted to, I suppose. Kind of want to tuck that in a little bit more. And this is where, you know, just doing some little floor adjustments, you can create some really good illusions, if you will. Not illusions, but, you know, some fun stuff. Well, this is an R&D, but, you know, we know sometimes those lead. Didn't even think of that. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. But I want you to. Actually, I could just. Oh yeah, because that's at the same. There it is. That's better. That's the thing that gets me there right there. Uh-huh. There we go. And one more little adjustment. Not great, but hey. An idea. Yeah, and see how it snaps, like it finds it but then loses it? Mm. That won't stick to that? Okay. About to say. Didn't even say that. Oh yeah, never ending project. A lot of part usage though. Still that, though. See, this beam doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, you know, next to these. It just doesn't, you know what I mean? We could even cover that entirely and just utilize what's, you know, what's currently there. Here's the beam. I'm not saying with this particularly, but you know what I mean. It is neat, but why is it, you know, what is it? I just don't understand next to the piping. It's cool, you know, I like the lighting, but I feel like it needs to be part of something, in something. I forgot. Well, we'll worry about that later. That's deco. Right? Deco we worry about after. Try not to get... Hey, Manny the artist, the man, the myth, the legend. What's going on? Good to see you. I mean, this would have been nice centered here, so let's do that. Damn it. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn it, you know what? That needs to get centered. Can we center this? At least make it better. Not really without doing some finagling. Because we have to cover. So what we're actually trying to center is this section here. So, alright, let's take a look at here. We're trying to center that. Alright, let's do it. We'll take this. We don't have enough room, but we're going to mess with it anyway. Bring you down here. Take you out of there. You can go for now. Technically, that's you, right? This is why I don't decorate until I'm... Why are you not going in your home? Yeah. Yeah, it's easier to snap. Oh crap. What is your problem? Really? Seems to be pretty frickin' straightforward. What's getting locked out? You're getting locked out. Bet you. Huh? Alright, who's locked out and why? Why are we locked out? Alright, I'm gonna see if I can't move it this way, but something's funky here. Not allowing me to... maybe that. If I have to do it a different way. That was not. Oh, that's right. Same place, I think. Yep, same place. We're missing one, which is really weird. There's a gap. Huh. Alright, well, we'll see if we can't make it work for us. I don't know if it will or won't. Or if it'll skip right by the one we need. It's gonna skip right by the one we need. I think that might be the problem. That might be the problem. Alright, we'll try it again. Yeah, because it's... of course, right by the one we need. Alright. So we're going to bring that up again. try with you. Want to make sure we didn't have like one that was turned upside down. If it still skips, then we've got a problem that we shouldn't have, or I'll have to, because we've already micro adjusted. I know it works. So I have a feeling it was just something was getting in the way. If we have the same experience, though, we're gonna get cranky. This looks better already. Yep. I know it is. I can see it. No gaps. Crappy thing is now I need to do I gotta do it by the floor instead of by the window, which is kind of a drag, but and we might not even be able to do it. Might be. Okay, go in more. Might do what? Yeah, it might not be doable. We'll get it close, but that's about it. That's as close as I think we're gonna get. Yep, right there. That's it. Actually, let's make sure that we're not riding on that other one by accident. No, that's it. Okay. We don't need it. Alright, so now what we're going to do is what? That's facing this, so we got to bring this out a bunch, right? We're using... Wait a minute. No, because now we flipped it. Damn it. Alright, so that needs to flip around again. It's going to be a pain. Flip it. Yeah, see, it's not perfectly centered, but it's as good as we're gonna get that. Right now, we need to shite. I need to flip a floor. All this work for one freaking window. What the hell's going on here? I'll take it though. Yeah? Oh no, never mind. Alright, so that hopefully a little more maybe. A little more. Next one over. Alright. Sorry it's so dark. Yeah. I have no control over that, unfortunately. I still feel that I need to adjust the lighting. And if we have to, we can move. We can micro adjust this wall as well. This already looks better, I think, than what we had prior. Yeah, see, we gotta come in a little bit. Gotta go one more. Alright, so let's do that. Don't get locked out. We're good, we're good, we're good. Usually see it right away. That could probably come in a little bit too. Alright. Yeah. See, sometimes you gotta see one side before, you know. Unless we can cover that. Yep, I'm gonna bring that in. Okay. Not what I was hoping for, but it is what it is. All because I wanted to see if I could make this vertical window look nice. No worries, Legend. Now comes the tricky part. Because whatever we put over this is now not lined up, right? And there's no way for us to really do that. What we can do is fudge it a little bit. And why are you not folding over? Catherine, welcome. Alright, so this is where we do what? This whole window is you know, wacky invention. So no! What was that all about? There we go. Hey, I like that. Let's rack that up. We put that thing right. Maybe not. I mean, yes, it sucks that it's not completely centered here. But it's an idea, so I'll keep the idea. I'm alright with that, I guess, for now. In this hodgepodge mess of a build here. Whoa! Catherine, thank you so much for that $7 Canadian. Everybody, you know what to do. Yeah, but see, we can tell it's all twisted here, so. That's a no-go. What would I do to put this in its place, but evenly spaced? that's where we need to. How do I know when I'm? It looks crooked though, right? But camera angle wise, we don't know ever really. Too far in. Damn it. Like, this is where I really don't know if I'm coming in level or not, you know? Give it a shot. It's alright. Like, I really want this to be perfectly centered over this now. Alright, we'll deal with it. It's hodgepodge, but now we know we can make this. Which is, you know, we'll figure out a better way to do this part here. You know, we would have to center that originally, etc., etc., etc. But all and all, and now we can just simply drop in. We should be able to. We can either do that. And that works just fine. We don't even necessarily need this. We could change that to something less obvious that it's not centered on us, but, you know. freaking lockout stuff, man. I swear, it's crazy. Hmm. There you go. Easy fix, right? Although we do have another problem, but we can figure that out later. Hmm. Hmm. All right, let's take a little look at what we got here. Double tap tap. What's going on? How you doing? But see how we're able to kind of turn this building, you know, into something. We could even probably branch off of this over to here and come up a little bit, you know what I mean? And just sort of skin, you know, this tower. If we wanted, we could make an entrance over here, especially if we do the building portion of it up here, right? Like if we start adding to this. Oh my goodness. Yep. Oh, and it's about 2 hours in. Perfect. All right, we're going to take a little break so I can get my other coffee, get that started to be warmed up. Take a little bio break, take a little eye stress break. And yeah, we'll come back and try and figure out what the heck we're doing. Oh, is there another patch in experimental? Nice. Any what's the word on it? Do we know? See, we could come up here. We could start, you know, we could come around, we could add in more, build off of what we have here. You know, get another stairway up. Come around, you know, just sort of skin the building. You know, use the building as sort of a, you know, a scaffold. And then what we can do is we'll just keep coming down. Who knows, maybe we'll end up down here. Let's get up top figured out first, though. Alright, I like the window. And you know what? I like that it's offset because this whole damn thing is offset. You're offset. You're offset. You're out of order. So yeah, I'm all right with it. But I like the fact that I can make that. And we're going to actually, that's the idea I've been having in my head. I wanted to make another building with, like I did in the original city with the vertical walls. And then kind of wrap one of these things here and see how that looks. So that when we do get into an area and we finally find that spot that I'm looking for, I can, you know, I've already got some ideas and sort of some, you know, prefab, you know, I can come back and be like, all right, oh yeah, I did sort of this sort of thing in order to get there. So I'm digging these new floor panels. They are pretty cool. Neat little design in them, I'm just sort of noticing now. You kind of look at it. You know, there is a actual design within the floor panel, which is nice. Which is sort of that right there. You see what I'm talking about, that sort of eye shape. Ooh. Oh, that's right, and I never did the... Oh, we're going to be making an attempt, if I can remember when I get back. But yeah, look at the floor panels. Even the floor panels are offset. Yeah. This needs to get fixed. I have a feeling something is wrong. See this, like, ridged sort of bits? And we see that in the buildings as well. Yeah. And see how this is just kind of, it just doesn't sit right. Everything's cockeyed and crooked. So yeah. Come on, Hello Games. I know you guys are awesome and you can fix this stuff. You can do it. I know you can. Nothing building related. Of course not. Never is. I mean, look at this. I shouldn't be able to see through that even. Let's see what that looks like unscaled as well. But actually, you know what? I need to use the laboratory. And get my coffee warmed up. And see now this, we could either end it here, make another level. I'm sorry, I'm just in my head and I hate when I do this because then, you know, have this go all the way down or, you know, bring it out and then come down a little bit to that level. Figures, nothing graphical or lighting, nothing like that. Builders need the Zendesk. We need to get that stuff out there. All right, I will be back momentarily. For those of you who got to get rolling, thanks for stopping in and spending some of your precious time here. I do appreciate that. As we know, time is that commodity that you can never get back, and it's impossible to earn. So, with that said, the rest of you, you know what to do. Get up, stretch out, peel the peepers away from the screen, grab a munch, grab a beverage, do a buyer break, and we will see you shortly. All right.
Clouds roll in, it's a mellow scene. Lights flicker soft like a faded dream. Laser beams cut through the rain. Easy vibes drifting like a train. Nip, nip in the air, feeling so right. Chasing lights, lasers in the night. All the pretty shapes, they spin so slow. Roll the smoke, let the rhythm flow. Raindrops tap, not a soul around. Everything's still and my mind's unwound. Shapes in the mist, colors so bright. Nip, nip haze, feels like midnight. Nip, nip in the air, feeling so right. Chasing lights, lasers in the night. All the pretty shapes, they spin so slow. Roll the smoke, let the rhythm flow. Nip, nip in the air, feeling so right. Chasing lights, lasers in the night. All the pretty shapes, they spin so slow. Roll the smoke, let the rhythm flow. Clouds roll in, it's a mellow scene. Lights flicker soft like a faded dream. Laser beams storms cut through the rain. Easy vibes drifting like a train. Nip, nip in the air, feeling so right. Chasing lights, lasers in the night. All the pretty shapes, they spin so slow. Roll the smoke, let the rhythm flow. Raindrops tap, not a soul around. Everything's still and my mind's unwound. Shapes in the mist, colors so bright. Nip, nip haze, feels like midnight. Nip, nip in the air, feeling so.
All right, we're back. Doo-doo-doo. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, figures. Nothing coming. Settlement stuff. Yeah, I kind of thought. All right, let's turn. All right, this goes. Actually, you know what we should do? We should be smarter. We should have probably started with these. But whatever. Because I didn't realize I was going to actually be building with them, so. But then we have that problem. Okay, so that's only if I want to go off of that. But if I want to connect it to this, but this is closer. So I could go to here, but this is going to come in at an angle. Nowhere near that angle. That's going to go to here. This is where everything gets screwed up. That's where everything gets messed up. Alright, we're going to leave that there because I don't feel like dealing with it right now. Or, yeah, and that's pretty direct into here. It's a little offset, but that's okay. So that would connect to here. Ish. Probably be better if I move this over a half. could turn this to match that. That's way lower. But that's because that's this. Alright, so... No, wait a minute. Raven's Multiverse, welcome, welcome. It's a little higher. Let's do... Alright, let's shimmy this over. Is that what we wanted to do? Why did we want to do that? Why did we want to move it a little bit over? There was a reason. What was it? And it wasn't that way. It was this way. Yes. Or... let's see where that leads us. How close to center is that? Or should we... You know what? Aha. Should we take this and do this? Wait a minute. Selecting the middle goes in the wrong spot. Okay. What if we do that? That. Not that, because it didn't do anything. All right. difficult part is hiding or getting rid of or opening the other end of the the world is the world is the world, my friend. Okay, so if we do that, then we do this. Maybe that's too low. By how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. By 6 floor pans, okay. And that's with it lowered by 1 there. Shade that. Okay, so let's try. From here. That's going to create a problem. Okay. And I wonder if we're going to get a skip out. Already seems like it. Nope, okay, good. Do we need all those 4 things? Alright. This needs to be by 6. Alright, let's try that. Or was it raised by 6? No. Yeah, raised by 6. Shoot. But then it's too far. Then the. Yeah. Damn it. Those railings are a pain. Yeah, it's raised by 6. But then that brings the railing up. So it's actually... Yeah, because we have a gap between the floor, right? Then that's going to bring up our... Alright, that's not good. That's not good. No, it is not. Alright, damn it. Gotta be a way to connect this. Alright, so if we take that. Oh, okay. Like that. The thing that doesn't do for us though is give us a paver. You're not where I need you to be either. What's going on here? Let's see if we can't make this work. Work, darn it, work. I'm gonna have to go exploring in a little while. Definitely got some lockout issues here. try something here. Let's see if it does anything. It will no or not. Alright, too high by a paver. Okay. So, well, that sucks. So, if a paver, which is going to be what? Is there going to be one lower? Is it a short wall? No, see? Not even a short wall. Let's still leave some of the railing. So it's two pavers, but I can't bottom stack a paver. So I need to two pavers as a cube. Alright, so if a cube so I would then need to do what? And I gotta go lower, right? So we gotta go down one, which is easy enough. So of course it's a half step, okay. We bring you down. That's two pavers. Boom, boom. And then we would go there, right? That's too bloody low. But it hits the floor, and then from there we do a transitional bit out into the thing, which should be about this height. But of course, for some reason, you don't want to do your freaking turnaround. isn't quite that height. Because, well, I mean, it works. It doesn't look good. Alright, so if we do that, right? Okay, this is going to be dumb, but we're going to do it. Why? Because. Alright, so here's our height that's where we need to get to initially, right? Which gets us pretty close. Then if we were to take this, go up, no, because we're still at that perfect height. No, that's the way it needs to do it. Okay. Because if I go up, that brings up the thing. If anything, I would bring that down or something, but no, okay. So that is where it needs to be. Okay. So then this should be... Oh. No. Alright, how much further can I go? Yeah, see, it's right there on the edge of the floor panel. So I could do a half floor panel, which isn't really going to make that much of a difference. So we would need to either A, yeah, so then we would just take and do what we were doing there, which is do that. But, you know, it's more crap than I'd want to really deal with. But it doesn't sit there, you know. Or we do Hmm. Alright, a little tougher than I thought. Give me a minute. This has to come down to here. It doesn't put me in a spot that I want to be in. You are now offset. Alright, so I need to move you over. No. You are in the middle. Technically. Alright. So that should just work. So I shouldn't have to do anything. Except for you. That we'll have to deal with. And then I'm going to have to mess with the floor. That's what's going to end up happening. I know it. I can sense it already. And you're offset. Knew you were going to be. I think I had the best hope with what we were doing there. Drop that down. And that goes down a half. That's what I'm going to have to do. I don't really have much of a choice. So, while it is somewhat of a drag, it is kind of our only without opening up, you know, and we can't, no, actually we might be able to. See, that's the other thing you gotta think, right? And that's what I'm now realizing I'm an idiot. Is that I could probably go straight through and then have an open whatever, but the railing is as close to the, you know, and it's hidden by the floor. Downside is it's, you know, we can make a natural step with a floor panel. We can do that. Actually, do that. It's a little chunkier than I would like. Actually, that's better. But that's not bad. And then we can lower that one down. We don't have to do that. I'm an idiot. That's okay. Yeah. Okay. That should work. Not perfect, but it should work. That basically closes up the gap over that. It's not ideal. here. More of a pain in the ass. Alright. And can't get centered like that one. Interesting. Put that in after. However, then we do have and that would have to kind of go through, yep, in order to hide this weird little doohickey. That cut through, and thankfully that cuts through into this building, so we don't got to worry about that. But that's, you know, those are the things you have to watch out for. Like, I personally don't like the fact that this has, you know, that extra bit of floor you have to contend with. You know, there's not, I mean, at least there's no skip, so I'm okay with that, because there's no skip involved. And this we can drop into there. You know, if we want to get crazy, we can micro adjust. But is it worth the effort? You know, we could basically take this and this, right? Micro adjust the floor down a little bit, a half step, which is all it really would take. So it would be a little half step from here to here, which would be fine, although I would prefer a smooth transition. Or we half step it, you know, enough just for the short walls to work. So you do have the options. And like usual, it really depends on the amount of work you want to do. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to extend that. We're going to lose our lighting, obviously, you know. No. Alright, so now we have the nice straight walkway, which then, you know, it makes it look less crappy. And we can drop this down, you know, and do a different thing with it. It doesn't have to be like this. We could flip things. Like, honestly, what I should probably do is stylistically we could make, you know, the angle here, and I could do that on the landing pads, which I think we need to do anyway. But hopefully this will give us a See, this is where I start to go, alright, it should be a metal, you know. And then maybe just this edge. Although I could potentially get a metal one in there. On that. From that. Like so. Although it might get locked out. Yeah, it's gonna get locked out, I bet. So, what I would do, you know, we'd add that in how we normally would do and add in like that. Like this one works for some reason because it's not quite, you know, at the same level. If I took, right, one problem at a time. Alright, where is our building? That's our next thing. There. Alright, what do we got here? We have small or large? Large. Oh, we had the round room here. I mean, it doesn't really matter what we put in, because we can change it, which is great. And if we want, we can even bring this back a little by one. I kind of feel we need to. Yeah. 1, 2. So the next one's gonna be. Well, one way to find out. Alright, we do need the large wire, which I thought we had one near here somewhere. Aha, there you are. And we will put you here for now. Alright, so. Trial and error sometimes. Trial and error. That's way too high. Alright, so we're going to bring that down. Shazam. I wonder if I should go over a little bit more too. I think we're gonna. Come on. Yeah, this is frustrating. I tell you what. Now, on this particular one, like yeah, see, we need to put in a paver. We got to go up at least a paver, because if you look at this, you know, that's a little too high. Even the paver's not quite enough, but it's better than this. Try a block. See where we end up. No. I still haven't figured out a good method to hide the, although you know what it would be? It would be, but it's not centered currently, so it wouldn't work. You're going to say I could just enlarge a wall, but since that's not centering right now, that wouldn't work. Have to do that whole dealing. Drop that. You were basically what? 2 floor panels. Not gonna be perfect, but it'll be better than the gap we're dealing with now. Alright, so that's our current. What did we say, like 3 floor panels? 1, instead of the cube, we will now use floor panel as our center, because then that way we can run out floor panels on the outside and mess around with that. So, grab that, this, that, spin around. Although, we're going to have to dry run because I don't want to have to redo all of that again. So I kind of have to leave that there for now and then do a test run, which is always so much fun. No biscuit. Because we know glitching is so easy to do. Alright. You are coming over here. And you are going right here. By the time you frickin' get lined up, yep, I am starting to get frustrated. It's really annoying. It really truly is. It's never been this bad. I've never had to redo so many times. It's seriously, it's maddening. Especially if, you know, because I'm going to have to do this again. Because we need to see where the floor sits, you know. Orkin A. Yeah, it might be time to do a little bit of oh, we have 3 hours? Is it break time? I ain't breaking until this is done. At least we know what level we need to be at. You know it's gonna be perfect and I'm gonna get mad. We do not get a break until this is at least measured. Son of a... Yeah, it's one word. I need a counter. I really do these days. It is so bad. It is so bad. It really is. I've never seen it this bad. It's not like I haven't done this millions of times at this point, or at least hundreds of thousands of times at this point. I'm gonna lean a little more million-y. Yeah, you're starting to irk me right now. You're irking me. Wow. This is dumb. Like, dumb. The way that the build mechanic gets messed up all the time. And then... like, nothing ever seems to get done about it, unfortunately. And that really is kind of bothersome. Spent an hour and a half just on this frickin' thing. And you know, if I delete all the other stuff and, you know, get it ready, like, all right, whatever, just gonna leave it here, it won't be right. This is stupid. It really is stupid of how bad, and I normally don't get this mad about this, but, you know, this is getting to be the point where things changed for no reason, you know? I mean, at least they finally did something with the build mechanic, but either make all large parts snappable, you know, or retain their size, or allow us to scale them to, but, you know, it still needs to snap. We still need to be able to snap a scalable object. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that it's taken this many times. Like, seriously. That's ridiculous. It should not take that many freaking times. It really shouldn't. You know, and we were going, you know, a lot better earlier with some of the other parts. I swear it has something to do with these parts. You know, but if I throw this all willy-nilly in there, it would glitch, you know? This is dumb. I'm really about to throw my controller. I've never seen it this bad. It's not going at all. I wonder if a reload is necessary, which I shouldn't have to be. And what we saw yesterday, and all of a sudden it's dark. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Getting a little cranky. Freaking believable. How many freaking times has this been? 30? 50? I don't know what to tell you. This is dumb. Oh, about frickin' time. Too high. Son of a biscuit. Alright, we gotta come down. That's what I'm saying. There's no way I mistimed that every one of those times. I can tell when I'm I've done it so many times. Unbelievable. I wish it didn't default to the frickin' base computer. It shouldn't default to anything, really. It should default to whatever the last part you had was. There. Okay. All right. All right, we don't really care necessarily about that. We were trying to connect here. does that end up though? Mm-hmm. Yep. Welcome to dealing with stuff you create. Because that should be about the same level as this, no? Yes. Give or take a smidge. But this actually works, because not perfect, but once we cover that, you know, you have to a little offset, but BFD. Actually, you know what? I know what you're thinking. Why the hell would you just do that? Just want to see. I want to see. Feel like you just got it though. Okay, if I scooch it over wire-wise, that, yeah, okay. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, I could go a little more. Alright, my controller just decided to be funky. Hmm. Yeah, my controller just, great. Huh. Alright, well that's new. Might be time for a new controller. Maybe that's why I'm having some issues here. I just calibrated it the other day. We might be calling this a shorter stream than I thought, till I can figure out why this is doing this. It's sort of a bummer here. Yeah, it's saying my controller's not even on right now. And I know it was charged. But it's not showing up. Alright, folks. Well, looks like I might be ending this a little bit earlier than I thought I was gonna. I might have to go and spend money I don't have on a controller. Oh, yay. We might show up again tonight to pick this up again, but we'll see. We'll definitely be on tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. But my controller's been acting funky lately, so I'm almost wondering if there was some sort of an issue that I'm having there. So, all right. Keep an eye for the notification bell if I come back on tonight. If I don't come back on tonight, I will probably be in the music room, listening to some music and relaxing and building. I'm not quite sure what's going on with my controller, but since I'm not familiar with the keyboard stuff for No Man's Sky, I can't really transfer over and do that very well, unfortunately. So, thank you all for hanging out and keeping me company. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to let you know when I'm back on again. Until next time, and actually before I do that, let's throw up the Discord if you want to chill and build, and if you have any build questions or you need some help, I'll be in there tonight in the music room, listening to music and building stuff. So yeah, all right. Anyway, until next time, this has been me, Kevin C. here at Action Pants Gaming, thanking all of you out there in the No Man's Skyverse, and wishing y'all a little bit of love, peace, and starship grease. Get your action pants on, get out there, start building some wild and wacky stuff. All right, y'all, take care, and we'll give you an update on what's going on with this controller thing. All right, y'all. Bye, everybody.
Action Pants Gaming. Chill vibes tonight. Chill vibes tonight. Laid back life. Laid back. No stress, no fight. No stress, no fight. Throwing parts together. Throwing parts. Crafting all night. Get ready to build. Get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right. Get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right. Get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right. Chill vibes tonight. Chill vibes tonight. Laid back life. No stress, no fight. No stress, no fight. Throwing pots together. Crafting all night. Get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right.